A couple of years ago, when people said AI, we would think of robots that are probably 20 years away. Now, people are actually using AI on a day-to-day basis. Like in my workplace, there are a few people who bring their AI robot note takers with them to the meeting. And after the meeting, they get a summary, this and that, and AI might be an opportunity or it might be a threat, you never know. So today we're going to explore this topic a little bit more in detail, and I'm assuming this is one of your favorite topics as well. So do you have any general comments before we get to the questions?
UI is something like double-sided thing, especially for people that are working agile delivery, agile coaches, Scrum Masters, and so on, because we are not sure how much kind of human interaction an AI can take and how much automation AI can do from our jobs. So I have my personal opinions that I can share here in this discussion, but I'm pretty happy if you have a different opinion, we can discuss about that and maybe like see where we are different. Different agile coaches can take different level of AI right now. For myself, I have some particular opinions on that.
Thank you so much. Let's do it. Let's dive into it. Just to confirm, what is your current role?
I'm an Agile Coach at Endava Australia. So I moved from Endava Europe 3 years ago. Altogether I have about more than 20 years in IT in general, more than 10 years in Agile delivery. And last 5 years I'm doing Agile coaching. Last 3 years I'm doing Agile coaching in Endava Australia. Long journey till coaching and agility.
And I'm sure this journey has been full of ups and downs. So the first thing that I'm really curious about is how has AI already changed the way you work as an Agile coach?
So actually I thought I was across AI and I tried to adopt AI pretty much when that appeared. So if you remember, I think ChatGPT appeared. First kind of AI bot ChatGPT appeared in 2022. Just after COVID, I was one of the first subscribers to this service. One of that 5 million, I think, persons that subscribed in the first week of ChatGPT. And after that, I explored some other platforms as well. How I use this? So I think that we as Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, we need to have a strategy in mind, especially when we work with team improvements and Agile transformation. And that strategy we cannot delegate to AI. From my point of view, you need to put your strategy on the paper. And based on that strategy, you need to formulate prompt engineering. You need to do prompt engineering to formulate a couple of prompts. And then to ask AI rather to help you rather than to set up the strategy end to end. So, I mean, you give him the context, you give him the strategy, you direct it in the right direction, and then you cherry pick what you find interesting into that. So, but in order to do that, you really need to have knowledge and sometimes very deep knowledge about transformations in organizations. So I didn't see a good prompt elaborated by somebody that doesn't know and didn't know how to do an agile transformation or didn't know how to do an organizational transformation. So I cannot imagine a person that is coming and asking how to do agile transformation to AI and then take by step without any kind of context and implement that. So this is what usually I'm doing. Another thing that how I use AI, this is I'm analyzing artifacts, I'm analyzing metrics that I already have. Sometimes when I'm doing system thinking, I'm analyzing causal loop diagram. So I can ask AI, for example, to analyze the reinforcing loop, the loop, the balancing loop, and to suggest some interactions. Once again, I'm cherry picking that interactions that I'm thinking they are appropriate for that particular context. But once again, a good question is the best question. So you need to know how to formulate the question to get a good answer.
So I'm going to be a bit more on the curious side here and ask that question that is always tricky to answer. Do you generally see AI as a threat or an opportunity? And if it is an opportunity, how do you make sure that you are making the best of it?
That's a good question because my mind or my opinion changed several times during only last year about that. So when AI comes to my way, first of all, I have seen that like clearly an opportunity because this is free up a lot of my time. I can use the time in more interesting areas, even in coaching, so I can delegate and I can automate some kind of backlog management, other stuff that is easy to do to AI. And then I can free up my time for facilitation, interaction with people, and so on. So that was amazing. After that, a couple of times I come to a different situations, and actually this is probably happening now in the market. We can see that when big organizations, they think that they don't need agile coaches and scrum masters anymore because this kind of jobs could be done easy by AI or could be done by another team members. And from my point of view, there is a kind of double side effect here. So actually we say that AI is not taking our jobs, and they are not taking our jobs, but they are redirecting our jobs in a little bit different direction. So my thought is that actually what is going to happen that agile coaching and scrum mastering will become a little bit different, and you really need to blend these responsibilities to something else in order to prove your value to the organization. So that's a little bit of threat and a little bit of opportunity as well, but we as humans, we need to be open for any kind of changes, redirection, and see our role in a different way.
It's always the tricky part to answer questions like that when it comes to tools. Because AI right now is a tool that is our disposal and we can use it to our benefit, or we could actually let it sidetrack us. We will discuss this more in detail, but one thing that I'm curious about is what part of our role as Agile coaches and Scrum Masters, or even project managers, do you think is more vulnerable to automation? Aren't you worried that if most of your job can be done by AI, someday you will not have a job, or someday you will not be needed?
So actually, I define for myself very clear what could be done by AI at the moment. I understand that the next year or maybe after 3 years or 5 years, the situation could be different. So at the moment, I'm happy to delegate and automate most of the backlog management, but that's mostly on the BA product ownership side. I'm doing a little bit of BA right now, speaking about blending roles. So from my BA role, sometimes I delegate some kind of suggestions to AI, and then I filtered. So I don't fully delegate. I delegate like 30-50% of backlog management to AI. If you as a subject matter expert, or as a BA, you miss the domain knowledge, sometimes you can ask about some of the abbreviations, some of the clarifications, because you cannot know everything from all the domains. So I have changed at least 8 domains in my career, and every time I need to learn everything from scratch, different industries. Then we have an amazing tool, automations in both in Jira and Azure DevOps. So we have, for example, for Jira, we have Rovo. Rovo can deal with Jira configurations and backlog management very well, not only with backlog management. So you can ask something in a kind of chat like ChatGPT, and the configuration is done amazing, depending on your tasks, on your permissions. Any kind of reminders to the teams. I'm not an administrator anymore, so I can send reminders to the teams. I can schedule the meetings automatically. I can send messages automatically at any hour that I want. And then automation of documentation as well. So ways of working, other stuff. So AI can do this amazing. But that's, from my point of view, this is mostly our administrative tasks. And if we have Scrum Masters or Agile coaches that are doing just that, probably they need to be worried about somebody is taking their job.
So if I heard you correctly, if our role is defined around the admin side of things, we should be worried because things like that are easily replaceable and able to be automated. When we talk about the value that we add, which is beyond the administrative things, what kind of value are we talking about?
Yeah, so I can give some examples. Once again, right now, with that AI level that we have, From my point of view, and also from point of view of World Economical Forum, by the way, there is an interesting report published in 2025 in January about future of workforce. I think what we can see in coaching as well and in that agile space, the big demand and the things that could not be replaced, this is analytical skills. So possibility to analyze information, even provided by AI, and understand what makes sense, what doesn't make sense in your context, address some additional questions. Any kind of human interaction situations and jobs, for example, conflict management, right, one-to-one discussions, any kind of facilitation. Some of the people are okay to have a AI facilitator, some of the people would like a human interaction. Any kind of leadership, coaching, facilitation, as I say. So the things that are mostly at that level of human interaction and trust. From my point of view, you cannot trust an AI agent, right? So you don't feel that kind of human interaction, that kind of human kindness that a human being can give you, and authenticity, you know.
Thank you so much, Natalia. That somehow naturally took me to the next question that I wanted to ask you, kind of led to that. In what ways do you think we could use AI to our benefit to improve team collaboration?
That's an interesting question because collaboration, once again, is linked to the human interaction and trust, right? So you cannot have a good collaboration in a team if you don't have trust. And then if you don't have trust, you have just a bunch of individuals. So the question about how AI can help us is mostly maybe to implement some kind of visibility, better visibility of metrics and other stuff, but that's increasing the trust in metrics, that's increasing the trust in team efficiency. It's not increasing the trust in humans as per se, you know. So I think, yes, for sure, we can put AI in the service of our benefits from point of view of improving visibility of the things, what is happening. Also, maybe if we free up more time for our people using AI, they will have more possibility to learn and to discover new things. This is going to give them more learning possibilities. From my point of view, the future of work will be like augmented teams, AI agents plus human beings, and many teams will be mixed like that, but I cannot imagine a team of AI agents only. So I can imagine teams that are blended like that.
I remember reading an article, was it like 2 or 3 months ago? The gist of the article was AI, especially ChatGPT now that we're talking about, the large language models, can have a negative effect in a way that it can shrink people's analytical power. Have you ever felt that as an agile coach, sometimes you rely too much on AI, or that the moment you don't have access to AI, you feel that probably something is missing that you could do better? Or this is again a question that needs a little bit of vulnerability, and I can personally tell you that I have been in that situation. So
Yeah.
feel free to answer, or feel free to say no, I don't want to answer this question.
No, I can answer this question. I feel vulnerable and I feel sometimes a little bit upset if I don't have access to AI, but not particularly on coaching. I have another problem. So English is not my native language, as you probably see already. So I have that Eastern European accent. So I'm from Republic of Moldova, actually. So that's why I feel much more confident when I have Grammarly or any other kind of AI tools that can correct my English. And if I don't have access to the tools, I don't feel very confident, let's say like that. And that's reflected in my kind of posting in any kind of social platforms. It's reflecting to my ways of working, documentation, and other stuff. Regarding coaching itself, I don't feel that I don't have enough kind of help because I can do this with AI or without AI. But that's my advantage because I have a big experience in that space. I'm more concerned about our people and our junior Scrum Masters, our kids and our junior Scrum Masters that are coming after us, because these people actually don't have that background. And the first thing that they have seen that was AI help. So without having the technological background, without having a coaching background, and going directly into AI era, I'm concerned about these people doing that reduced cognitive load, reduced analytical skills, and so on. So the humanity is moving into a different space for sure. What will be that space? I'm not sure. So from one point of view, AI is reducing a lot of that cognitive load. So you don't need to know everything. You just need to know where to find the things or how to address the question. But from another point of view, you don't train your mind anymore. So your learning and memorizing capabilities are reduced. And that's related to coaching, that's related to English skills or to any other skills.
How can we help the people who join coaching later as Agile coaches or Scrum Masters? How can we help them develop their analytical skills and not to over rely on AI?
That's a good question, and I think probably my answer will be directly related to what the schools and universities are doing right now. So I know for sure that big universities and very popular universities such as MIT or Harvard University, they are moving now from having online exams into offline exams. So they are moving into inviting people directly, like in the room, like in 1970, inviting them in the room and testing their knowledge directly in the room. That's related and not related, somehow related. So from my point of view, the younger generations, or what the companies need to make sure that younger generations are prepared, is to do more in-person conversations, do more in-person interviews. So I expect that probably some of the companies will move from online to offline interviews, will move from online meetings to offline meetings, and online work to offline work. So from my point of view, the tendency of having people working only from home will move into hybrid approach or even in the office approach. So I can expect that the direction will be to move back into the offices, so to move back into the offices for the main meetings. This is going to improve interaction and make sure that we are not on AI only, so you are not completely automate your work. This is what I expect, but that's, once again, this is an assumption, this is a prediction that I cannot guarantee. Then what I would also would advise the younger generation of Scrum Masters and coaches is to move into more technical space, so to learn a little bit of testing, to learn a little bit of Power BI, to learn a little bit of data analysis, because this is going to help them. So as I say, the expectations from the Agile coaches and Scrum Masters and all the Agile delivery roles, including management and leadership, will be that you are not a Scrum Master only. You need to be able to do something else as well. And then the question will be what else you can do, how else you can help your team.
Yeah, and it seems that having a little bit of technical, not necessarily mastery, but let's say being familiar with those concepts or having the basic skills can probably give you better insight into what your team are actually doing, and it will make it easier for you to understand their impediments, if you will. So we talked about prompts earlier. This is probably a bit of a practical recommendation coming from Natalia. When you write prompts or when you give ChatGPT some prompts, what things do you have any rules in those prompts to make sure that you are making the best of it?
Yeah, that's a good question. Actually, what I'm doing usually, I try to give as much context as possible. So usually I'm starting a prompt about I am. So I specify my role. Doesn't matter what is my role right now. Even I'm a agile coach, or I'm a product owner, or I'm a BA, or however I think the role should be. I specify the location because sometimes it's important if you are a BA in Australia, or you're a BA in Romania, or you're a BA in UK, because sometimes the vocabulary that the answer will use will be different. And then I try to specify as much context as I can. So I try to use that kind of human interaction, like I speak with yourself, like to a friend. So ChatGPT is my friend, specifying, okay, there are these pluses, there are these minuses from one point of view, from another point of view. So my prompts are usually big, like big. I can show you a couple of them, like they are huge. And sometimes the answer is smaller than my prompt. So I try to specify as much details as possible. Also, I keep on my computer some my personal kind of prompt library. And I know that many agile coaches are doing that already. And I'm sharing that prompts with our colleagues. So sometimes we are sharing our libraries, about how to. I have prompts for agile coaching. I have prompts for elaborating the backlog. I have prompts for elaborating product roadmap, for example, or RACI matrix if I need. So all kind of prompts like that, so that I can copy paste them easily.
Just a bit of a request. Again, feel free to say no. Are you able to share a couple of these so that I can share with others as well in the video? As part of the video, actually, I can put a few of these examples.
I would like to let you know that prompts I included in my book that I'm working right now. So actually I'm writing a book. I have an entire chapter with prompts. So for the people that are interested, probably next year that book will be published. So you will have possibility to get them from the book as well. But I can extract just that chapter with prompts for you. So that will be a teaser for the book and the people that are attending this this session.
Excellent, excellent. That sounds like a fantastic idea because one of the things that I have personally needed to improve has been writing good prompts. Because sometimes we give ChatGPT or other AI assistants, we give them inadequate information and we expect them to do magic. But we need to tailor the prompt. We need to make sure that we clarify the rules to make sure that we get what we really need.
Yeah, actually the book name is from let me I cannot remember my
It's
book
okay, don't worry about it.
From resistance to resilience. So that's a
Wow.
lot about agile transformations, about transformation in organizations, and about AI, how to use AI into that.
I love the title already. I guess I'll be one of the first people that will order your book once it's published.
We'll do a signature on the book for you, Ryan.
Absolutely. I would love to have that. Thank you. Thank you for that. Now, Natalia, any final words on this topic of AI as an assistant or as a threat that you would like to share with everyone?
Yeah, so actually, I think we need to be very attentive when we are using AI, as I say. So there is a benefit, there are a lot of benefits, but there are a lot of threats as well. And not only the threat that AI is going to get our jobs, but security threats, personal data threats, and other stuff. So, for example, we in the company, we have an internal client, ChatGPT. We are not sharing the information outside. And anyway, we are trying not to put any kind of personal information in that. So you need to make sure about that. Another thing that we need to be aware, this is about biases that AI can bring. So especially to the people that don't understand the topic, the people that are leaders of organizations and they would like to implement kind of transformation in their organization and they think that they don't need a coach because AI know it all and because AI is so confident about everything. Don't believe the confidence of AI. I have seen multiple hallucinations, especially in the coaching space, especially when the prompt is not good, especially when you don't understand what you're asking, especially when you are not the expert in that field. The biggest danger of AI is that that can create that confidence in the people mind, and the people have an impression that he understands what he's doing and actually he's not. So that's the biggest thing. So if we have that bias of hippo, now probably we have some kind of AI people or something AI po, because people are believing AI more than they are believing humans. And sometimes they are validating the knowledge of humans using AI. And sometimes the AI is not right and the human is right. So that's the kind of things that we need to be aware. Yeah, we need to be flexible, we need to be anti-fragile, and we need to be resilient. So we in agile space need to be prepared for changes, but also we need to be prepared that changes are not the bad changes all the time. So see all the changes as a good way, see all the changes as opportunities, see AI as opportunity for yourself as agile delivery leaders and coaches.
Fantastic. Thank you. Thank you so much, Natalia.
Thank you.
Really, really enjoyed this conversation. I really look forward to seeing your book very soon. Do you have any time frame as to when we will have that?
Not yet. So probably I hope it will be at the beginning of next year, but there should be past, publishing a book is a long process. they should pass some kind of steps, and I'm not sure how much it will take. Best case scenario, beginning of next year. Worst case probably will be middle of the year or end of the year. We'll see, but Ryan, I will let you know and people that are subscribed to your channel know about the book.
Beautiful, beautiful. I, for one, look forward to reading that book. Thank you so much, Natalia. I appreciate you and I appreciate what you do. And again, I appreciate the time that I had with you today having this conversation. Thank you so much. Take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you.